on to the second part of this interaction, Abhay. Now, when you started your career, what did you believe about learning that you no longer believe today?
So, when I initially started my career, I had a myth that if you do a training and you do the knowledge transfer, if people understood that thing, your work is done. Right. So for example, if you do, I take an example of shop floor training only. Say we do a compliance related training or safety related training. Okay. Safety training, people go through the complete workshop, they get the assessment score, everyone score like above 80%, etc. So everything is going good. Right. But when it goes to the shop floor, the knowledge has been transferred. Right. But still you can find that people are not following the process, or there is some mishap, there is some incidents coming out. So sometimes just knowledge transfer as an L&D professional, transferring the knowledge is not the end of your journey. You also need to get that knowledge, whatever knowledge has been transferred, is used at a proper rate and it gets refreshed, etc. also has to be taken care of.
Interesting. Okay. Tell us about a training program that looked like a success but quietly failed months later, and what really happened?
Yes, this I think so. I'd like to give one example for this, just to explain this. So in one of the organization I used to work, we were told to do one particular parameter, sales parameter training for all the field people. Okay, and we developed a good
for the FOS.
Yes,
feet on
for the
street
feet
people.
on streets.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so we developed a nice workshop around it.
Right.
Okay, and it was cascaded pan India. A lot of noise was created,
right,
etc. And we saw that there was a good movement around it. The post-back feedback, etc. was phenomenal, like 4.8, 4.9 feedback we got. Amazing. People were, stakeholders were appreciating the module has been run through good, in a very nice, great success, etc. And we also saw the needle moving in that parameter as well.
Okay.
But slowly everything, after 6 months, when we try to analyze it, that parameter has stopped moving. In fact, it went down. Okay. And when we did a root cause analysis of that thing, we realized two things. First thing, we did that program, but somewhere that ecosystem for the field managers, for the managers to do a coaching session around it to the field people was missing. And I think so that is something what would have enabled it a little bit more better. Also, there was another parameter which was on the incentive part.
Right.
There was something which was incentivizing this growth.
Right.
And after 6 months, that incentive was removed, and again it fall back to the original the case. So I think so. If you're developing a culture, okay, you need to enable it in a way where it becomes a part of their day-to-day life, and they start using it into their day-to-day life. So a little bit more on the work around the complete design of the program would have been helpful.
So I think the post-efficacy of the training were not mapped.
Correct.
And
I think so. Also the ecosystem. So training alone was not able to deliver the system.
Of course. Interesting. Now, here's a statement. People don't leave companies because they stop learning. They stop learning because they've already decided to leave. Do you agree with that statement?
Sure, Roshan. I think so. I completely agree with the statement. I think so. Completely true. Hitting the point. But if you ask me, learning is something which is very personal.
Correct.
Okay. And if any individual is there, and if he's a motivated individual, he'll find learning very motivational and he will initiate it. True. And generally, if there is a top performer within the group, and if you give a workshop to him, and if he's motivated and want to work with the company, he'll obviously respond it to it at a positive level. Yeah. And if you see that yes, this person is not responding, that means there is something wrong.
True.
This is not an indicator for us. If he wants to resign or he wants to move out of the company, the back of the mind, he has made that decision.
Made up.
And
so
I think
learning per se. I don't think people leave organizations because they're not learning or anything.
Yes.
And again, it's not the only component
to
consider. True. Okay, moving on. Now, let's imagine if I gave you the training budget of a Fortune 500 company, which is normally huge. What's the one thing you still wouldn't spend money on?
I don't know. A majority of people would. So you might have experienced this thing that learning and development managers generally design some kind of program which is a standalone program.
Right.
There is a huge investment what they do into it, and
rolling it out,
rolling
and,
up, etc.,
the
etc.
logistics and
Exactly,
everything.
exactly. They do lot of expenses around it, and it's a standalone program. They bring in a keynote speaker around it, but there is no follow up on that.
Right.
Correct. Right. And sometimes that is a very good program when it comes to increasing the morale or motivating the people on a particular day or something. Right. But it will not sustain in the system for longer time.
True.
So even if I get the budget for a Fortune 500 company, I would still try to invest on the ecosystem of the learning, invest it more on digital learning platforms, etc., etc.
The question is, what will you not spend it on?
So I told you, not spend it on the standalone training.
Not on standalone training.
But I will try to invest that budget over there.
Rather build an ecosystem around it. Interesting perspective. Now, moving on, what's a popular L&D practice you've personally stopped believing in?
Okay. So when I think of this personally, which I've stopped believing in, sometimes, as I told you, that some trainings. So if, for example, if I want to train someone something, and if I do a 4 hours learning workshop or full day learning workshop, sometimes the output is very much smaller.
Right.
Okay, people doesn't get the knowledge what need to be transferred, etc., etc.
Right.
Nowadays, what I have come up across is a bit-sized learning kind of an approach.
Right.
Okay, you give hands-on. For example, lot of people, for example, I did this thing in one of our old organization. We had established reel-based learning over there.
Okay, interesting.
Okay, so what we generally used to do for our field managers, we used to share them the Excel links, Excel reels,
right,
in which every operation has to be done. So that's how we developed the capacity of those people over there.
Okay.
So sometimes doing a complete 1 day workshop or 4 days workshop, yes, it is. I'm not denying it that it is not useful, right, but yes, it is useful. But sometimes a bit-sized learning also can come in handy.
Absolutely. Okay. What's the biggest misconception business leaders have about learning and development?
I will like to answer this in a very take an example of a pharmacy.
Right.
Okay. Sometimes business leaders think like learning and development is like a pharmacy, and we can tell them, we can go at the counter, we can say like, we want to deliver this product, right, and they just hand it over to me, and we do. This is my
problem. Okay, you take this medicine for it, and you solve it. It doesn't work.
It doesn't work that way.
True.
I think so. Learning and development is more like a business enabler.
Right.
Okay. Any boardroom discussion or boardroom strategy change, whatever is there, learning and development should be a part of it for the discussion, and it can actually help them to deliver that thing on the ground.
Right.
And sometimes that is the misconception between the leaders, that not including learning and development into those discussion or bringing them into the strategic discussion point of view.
Correct. Interesting. It's a long way to go at the same time. Well, thank you once again, Abhay.
Thank you.